Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, ma'am. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fabian Junino Elendika. My student number is 31. In this video, I want to tell you about my book report. With the title of the book is The Woman in Black. The author of this book is Susan Hill, with genre ghost story, horror novel, gothic, and historical. The publisher from this book is Hamish Hamilton, and publication date in 10 October 1983. The main character from this book is, the first is Arthur Kipps as a solicitor in this book. And the second is the Woman in Black, or Janet Humphrey. And the third is Samuel Daly as the Arthur's friend. And the fourth is Mr. Bentley as the boss in Arthur's company. And the fifth is Mr. Jerome as a parts store. And the sixth is Kekwik. In this book, there is minor character too. The first is the landlord. The second is Stella. The third is Esme Enley. And the fourth is Isabel Enley. The fifth is Oliver Enley. The sixth is Will Enley. And the seventh is Edmund Enley. The time setting from this story at the beginning of the 20th century, and the place setting in this story is in England, 13 Gifford, and the Elmer's house, and the monk piece, and the last is London. The problem from this story start when Arthur Kipps get the assignment from his boss is Mr. Bentley to attend the Mrs. Double's funeral in 13 Gifford. And as long as Arthur in there, he gets a lot of distraction or terror from the woman who dressed in black, or as we know, she is Janet Humphrey. And Arthur also get the distraction during he in the Elmer's house after he looked the woman dressed in black in the church and the graveyard when he attended the Mrs. Double's funeral. And the solution from this story is when Samuel Daly as Arthur's friend came to the Elmer's house and saved Arthur from there and tell to Arthur about the woman in black, or Mrs. Janet Humphrey, that she is Mrs. Double's sister, that she lost her children when the accident, and he want to revenge to the other people. And after that, Arthur came to the conclusion that everyone who saw Janet Humphrey, or Woman in Black, will die horribly. And the end of the story, when Stella as Arthur Finch come to the 13 Gifford to take the Arthur back to London, and a couple years ago she and Arthur get married and get the children. And someday when Arthur and his wife and his children going to the park for a holiday, in this park Arthur looked again the woman in black, or Mrs. Janet Humphrey, and not long after Arthur looked the woman in black, his children and his wife died by the accident. And after that, Arthur stopped this story and never ever remember about that story again. And the last is about my opinion of this book. I very like the story in this book because I like to read the story about horror story or historical story, and the language that used by Susan Hill in this book is not very hard to understand, and she used the simple language and I easy to understand what the meaning or what the purpose from this story. And after we read this story, we can imagine the situation that Arthur feel when he get to the terror from the woman in black. And I very enjoy when I read this book, and I very like the story, and I recommend to other people to read this story because this story is very good and interesting. Okay, ma'am, that's all from my book report. I'm sorry if I get some mistake, and thank you for your attention, and thank you for watching of my video, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.